of the sea, and welcome back to a best of 5 grand final between, in the bottom right, spawning as our red Protoss player. His name is herO, and he plays for team DKZ. In the top left, spawning as our blue Terran player, playing for Onsite Gaming. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the world finalist of the World Championships, Maru. Terran versus Protoss here from the most recent Korean StarCraft Weekly tournament that has been started after the sad GSL announcement by Dave Testa and Chicken Man. They're running it through Patreon, crowdfunding it, and yeah, lovely tournaments every single week. They're kind enough to distribute those replays as well to a bunch of content creators, and everyone's allowed to cast it. And here we are, my friends. So we have a Protoss versus Terran in the grand finals of that particular tournament. See, herO, did he go for a no scout here? I think he did. Oh. Oh. All right. Sentry first coming out of herO. This is a build order I've never seen herO do. herO has a very big build order diversity often. Yeah, I think it's one of the things that is the best about him, but this particular build I have not actually seen before. So we see a probe and a sentry just kind of hugging the top of that ramp. I wonder what the follow-up plan is going to be. Will we be seeing a Stargate, a Twilight Council? Okay, we have another Stalker here coming out. No tech as of yet. There is double gas, so the ability to tech is here. Ooh, pulls out of gas with 2 workers. I think this is going to be a 3-gate. I thought this was going to be a fast third base here, as he managed to get one of his own probes stuck. Very unfortunate. This is a completely new opener that I personally never have seen before. Built in a simulator to bug his own probe out of that rather precarious position. So we have that first hallucination scout here. He's just barely going to miss the Marauders, but will see the tech lab with the concussive shells. Does he have enough units out? I think we'll need another Chrono Boost here on this Stalker. It's going to be Reaper, Marauder versus 3 units, but only a single Stalker. I think that this sentry might be in a little bit of trouble. I think this Stalker might be in a little bit of trouble if the next unit does not pop out in time. Uh-oh. Oh, what do we have over here? herO's moving in. herO's moving forward. I think that might have been an error of judgment. Yeah, loses the first Stalker for free. Adept is now gonna go down. Nexus goes up as this Adept indeed will fall. Reaper does not get microed, but this Sentry will die as well. And this has been a fantastic and absolutely fabulous start here for Maru. Gets the scout of what is going on, sees the Nexus, like, hey, that's pretty darn fast. Kills 3 units, denies the ability for a follow-up scout with that Sentry later on. And now we have a robotics facility on the way for herO, but this is all in the line of expectation, I think, for Maru. Maru looks at this early game and thinks to himself, well, that's pretty much as good as it could have been, right? Resources lost in favor of him, got scouting information, to, he knows everything. Is going to be out of position with these Marines though, as these 3 Adepts make their way across the map and start heading in to try and deal a little bit of damage. I'm so curious what herO's actual plan was if he hadn't lost those initial units. Was it still going to be a triple Adept warp in, maybe try and put on some pressure on his opponent, or was he just going to try and defend with a lot of gateway units? I guess we will never know unless he decides to play this build again in the future. Now, we do have double gases coming down on that natural base as well. We only have a single Stalker at home. No, we don't. We have freaking 4 Stalkers at home. We have Stalker up to 6 being warped in over here. Perfect defense out of herO. Loses, 7 Stalkers. Loses absolutely nothing. Except a single worker, and kills 2 mines. This game, I don't want to say is over, but it looks pretty darn good here for herO. He's up a significant amount in the worker count, has way more units as well. He's up 20 supply. The only problem that herO is going to be bumping into right now is the complete lack of tech. He has nothing. He can't defend anything with this army. I mean, there's no catch in this army. He can't blink under medevac, so drops are going to be an issue. He doesn't have charge, so things like tanks are going to be an issue. He doesn't have colossi, so things like marines are going to be an issue. So Archon, so he really has nothing. Just a lot of units, but a lot of units with nothing, basically. I think the follow-up here is going to be armor as well as charge. If this is blink, I am shocked. Okay, there we go. armor and charge indeed. It is 4 gases, so a fast Templar Archives is definitely a possibility. It's in the realm of possibilities here. I wouldn't mind seeing one more gate being added on, but it seems like herO actually wants to hold the initial push on a very low gateway count. This is a beautiful build. I have never seen this before in my life, like this particular build order in this order. I think this has something to do with the recent sentry buff, where it builds a little bit quicker from the gateway, allows for quick scouting, or quicker scouting I should say. And this 3-gate follow-up was beautiful. What a great build. I really like that. I didn't like the early game movement with the Adept Sentry Stalker. I should have waited for the second Stalker, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to be fine. Viking will need to be constructed here to deal with this Prism as well. This Prism is kind of keeping herO's hopes and dreams alive, because as long as this Prism is on the map, we shouldn't forget that it's really difficult for Maru to move out. He always needs to leave units in the main base. Now that this Prism gets recalled, Maru can start moving across the map with everything, but there's a huge army waiting for him on the other side. Well, huge. I'm not sure if this is actually a huge army, but it's a sizable army. We have 6 gateways coming down. We have a Templar Archives, like I said, with those early 4 gases, of course. A lot of gas is bound to be saved up and can be used into Archons. Oh, this is an issue, though. We have a lot of SCVs popping out here. Force fields are coming down, but triple tanks, that is a significant threat. Moves forward very far with those tanks. Super battery gets activated. Target fire on the battery is good. That means it's now toast. This tank is also going to be toast pretty soon, though. First tank does go down. I think that herO needs to give up this base temporarily, and he needs to wait for those extra gateways to finish up. Once he can warp that in, he's going to be just fine. But until that point, oh, he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, does not manage to quite buy the time here. And now there's too many Marines. I just did not have the production in time. This is a very common issue with the type of style that herO is playing here, where I'm actually going to explain this properly, rather than straight away going into the next game, because this is really interesting. People will look at this mineral count and think to themselves, hey, herO has really poor macro. This is another crappy Protoss. And this often happened with Zest as well, where he was getting a very high mineral count. I'm going to explain why that happens with those particular build orders, or this particular style of infrastructure crafting is perhaps the best way to kind of describe it. So what these players do, and what Zest used to do, is he gets a lot of units from a low gateway count, and he's almost continuously warping in. So you get a relatively high army size, which allows you to hold a lot of the pushes up to a certain extent while you're probing up. And then at some point, what ends up happening is that your eco becomes so good that you can't spend it anymore with just the 3 gateways. And then you see these massive gateway influxes, right? You're getting 2,700 minerals a minute, and you just start adding the gateways on top. But there is a period of time in which there's like 6-7 gateways building, and you're just starting to float money. All of this money will be spent after the gateways go away, or after they finish up. But before that, there's no real way to spend it unless you want to put it in a fort base or into static defense or anything of the sort. But if you're being 2-base all in, that is of course not something that you can do. You can't really take a fort base, and building 5 cannons also doesn't really help against these pushes. So what herO did here is he basically had an optimal build for a push that was supposed to hit about half a minute ago. I think if a push of Maru had hit half a minute ago, this would have been a really nice build order. However, Maru is hitting in between the timing where the infrastructure of herO just doesn't cut it anymore. So herO needs to invest a lot of infrastructure, or he'll start floating money. And then Maru hits now. So there's basically 1k tied up in these buildings, and then a crap ton of money is going to be banked up as well. So herO is basically playing with like 1900 minerals less in a fight where he would have loved to have that. So it is just a difference of where he wants to be strong. It is not necessarily poor macro, and it's important to note that. Now, despite that very cool build order that herO showed us, and the optimization of for that 6-minute push, did lose that game. So it isn't all great. Ooh, switches it up immediately. So we go from greed into aggression here, as this was a 12 pile and 13 gate. A build order that has seen a bit of a revival, I want to say. I've seen SOS play it a bunch, and now herO is here as well. It's an odd map to play it on, Altitude. Altitude is a very large map. Ooh, double gas. Oh, it's gonna be Proxy Stargate then. This is not just your standard Zealot Adept or just pure Adept across the map. No, this is coming with a secondary threat here in the form of that Stargate. I kind of like that. Maru, of course, a player that doesn't mind skipping the scout. Can't recall if he scouted last game. I want to say that he did. I think in general it's often correct to scout against herO. And that's indeed what Maru is doing here. Either that or he's planning on proxying a barracks on the map. That is way too late. Gonna be Reaper, yep. Reaper first. Really regained a bit in popularity as of late. In the Korean scene as well. We had a period where everyone and their sister was playing 2 gas openers and Reaper Heli and stuff, but nowadays it feels like Reaper first with a scout, very safe and solid. That kind of, I think, when Terrans go back to these more standard builds, it often means that Terrans feel comfortable in the matchup, right? So if everyone's playing Reaper Expand, that means that Terrans want a steady game. They want a game that is kind of normal, because in a normal game they feel good. And I think some of the win rates in this matchup have also represented that Terrans feel kind of good currently in this matchup. So it's interesting to see that. That's a pylon that's being built here. I'm not quite sure why he did that. I have absolutely no clue why he did that. Maybe trying to keep the Reaper at home, or... I just don't understand. Is he gonna finish this? No way. That's a cancel, right? Yeah. We're also floating a lot of money here for herO. It's gonna get a Nexus, 27 supply. Not sending this Adept across the map. So, rather than being focused on trying to take out your opponent's command center here, the focus of herO was more on getting damage in with this Stargate. And as the factory is quite late, this could actually be a bit of an issue. Now, there's going to be 3 Marines. They can be microed and might be capable of holding on. Bunker going up in the main base. I think that Maru is going to be fine here in the main. He might lose 2 to 3 workers, though. That wouldn't completely surprise me. He's going to lose 1 Marine, maybe 2 Marines. And now a couple of SCVs will most likely go down. Spots the mine as well, which tells him that it's not in the natural. That's actually kind of big. I guess there's no units in the natural, though, so not sure how big it exactly is. Spots, okay, he's just having a look, right? Saying, okay, no reactor, which means slow marine production. Tech lab, which means a cyclone as a follow-up. There's now 1 mine and 3 marines in this bunker. And the next real defense against the Oracle is going to be a cyclone. It wouldn't surprise me if herO decides to kind of keep the energy a little bit more here. To just pretend like he wants to fight this. And then wait until there's 3 oracles out. And then go in for the cyclone. Especially this oracle should not be using the energy at this moment. Wonder if he's been counting. 32 seconds for the cyclone. But he does need to piss off at some point. He could be waiting to actually kill it as well. He almost seems to be angling for that. Oh, well, this is a little bit sloppy. Could go back in. Is going to go back in. Scares away the cyclone temporarily. There's no new oracle on the way, as a Twilight Council has been thrown down. 32 workers to 30. No mining on the natural though here for Maru, but with double mules in the main, I think life is still going to be fine for him. We do have a second cyclone coming out, and that second cyclone is kind of the buzzkill here. You know, it's this guy shows up to the party ends, takes away the alcohol, turns down the music. The second cyclone is pretty much the helicopter mom of her 27-year-old son, wanting to make sure that he stays pure. It's too late, my friend. These oracles have never been pure. Killed 5 workers. It's actually pretty decent damage here. Nexus on the way as well as Blink. It's a hard game to call here, but I do feel like that there's a lot of control on the side of herO. Like a lot of control of the current game. Oh, loses an oracle for free. That is always painful when that happens. Throws down another revelation. And we'll get the full info here. Sees what's happening in his opponent's base. Not sure if he's happy with it. He's seeing Stim. Another barracks. At least he knows that when the timing is going to come. We'll most likely see a starport go down. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Starport will go down. We'll need... I think this 3rd gas is actually a little bit delayed, if anything. It's how you're gonna afford combat shield now. And the answer is you can't, so... Cutting a couple of marines as well. He was earlier. I really like this position here for herO. Blink is about to finish up. We have 8 Stalkers out. Once again, relatively low gateway count, high gateway unit count. Now, he's going to walk into a similar problem again if he continues building units now, but instead we do see 2 more gateways being added on. He could have added more Stalkers here and perhaps managed to, you know, put on more pressure. But instead, I really like this this move as well. You know, saying, hey, I think I can deal enough damage with these, what is it, 8? Yeah, 8 Stalkers. And then I'm just going to add more and more gateways. Does warp in 3 more. So he believes that there is something here to be done. He saw the complete lack of tanks. And I think that's actually what triggered this. He's going to blink out here. He's going up to 11 Stalkers. I think he believes that he can fight for a long time with just these Stalkers, because delaying the infrastructure like this tends to be quite risky. We have a blink in here. Stim is done, does get activated, but these Marines are not good enough to deal with all these Stalkers. SCVs need to be pulled. This was an absolutely fantastic trade here for herO. Great call out of him. Warping in those 3 extra Stalkers carried some significant risk when it comes to his production cycles, but managed to do it. Now warps in another 3 here. We see a 4th gas going down as well, so he is gonna get up to 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways. 8 gateways, robotics facility all behind this, and the first charge load warp in should happen soon as well. This bunker in a little bit of trouble, and that means that these Marines in it are going to be in a little bit of trouble as well. We have continued. Micro doesn't lose a single Stalker here. herO in complete control of this game. Here come the Zealot warp-ins. I don't think herO wants to wait anymore. He says, hey, I'm so far ahead right now. I want to kill you. I want to end this game. He's getting a 4th base just in case. Could throw down a Templar Archives as well. Wouldn't mind seeing a gateway being added on here, but I guess the Robo is about to finish up, which means that a Prism is going to join up with this army if herO really wants to go for a kill. Maru is pretty much all in. He's adding a 4th barracks as well. Doesn't even have money for a 5th barracks. This is a sad situation. No reactor on this starport either. He is absolutely broke right now. He's going to try to make something happen, but I don't quite think it's going to work out. 1 Stalker will fall, almost the 2nd one goes down there because of the splash damage. Not quite the case. Here come the Zealots, and here come the Stalkers. +1 about to finish up, blinks forward, starts sniping down Marauders 1 by 1. Does he want to continue into this base? I think he wants to. He knows that his production is good enough to kind of catch whatever hole gets hit here in his supply count. Like, he can definitely fill that up real fast. Yep, there we go. 8 more Zealots, Templar Archives. I wouldn't mind seeing 2 more gateways being added on as well. Once you're moving into 4 bases on a low gas count, it's often easy to start floating money here, especially once you mix in those Archons. I mean, that is two gateways that you're going to be using just for basically 50 mineral units. Prism is done. The moment you see a Protoss attack into a 2-base Terran, that either means 2 things. Either the game is very, very over in the favor of the Protoss, or the Protoss is very, very desperate and the game is over in favor of the Terran. And in this case, I think the game is very over in favor of the Protoss player. Yes, there are a couple of tanks and there's a bunch of units. The army supply actually is bigger for Maru, but by the time that Maru gets across the map, there's just going to be 20, 25 more army supply for herO, which is an absolutely huge deal. Because don't forget that a lot of that is going to be still in the barracks as well, that army supply that Maru has. 3 Marauders are going to show up here, start fighting these Zealots. Rather than attacking into it, he just kind of evacuates this position. Now, did herO spot the SCVs? I think there's SCVs. Yeah, there definitely are some SCVs. They're being spotted. That means that these Zealots can just go back home, can come in for a flank, and that's indeed what they will be doing. Beautiful stuff here out of herO. Fantastic engagement. Immortals moving for GG gets called, despite Maru still having a higher supply lead as he GG'd. But, I mean, the game was completely over. Nice. Ties up the score, and we'll be heading into game number 3. And that game number 3 is going to be played here on... where are we going with the Pro? It's going to be played on Dragon Skills. A little bit of a wall to start with. I like walling. Keeping the Reapers out. I hate Reapers. God, Reapers are annoying. I think if there's one unit I would be capable of taking out of the game. I actually don't think it would be the Reaper. It would be many other units first, but the Reaper would definitely be on the short list, you know? Top 5. Top 5. Definitely top 5. Yeah. Actually wonder what I would take out first. Of course, I would keep all Protoss units because I'm not biased. Not sure who else I would take out though. The Widowmine's annoying. Just from a player's perspective, which is annoying to play against. I hate Banelings to play against. I don't like Ravagers, Roaches, or Lings. Okay, Ravager, Roach, Ling, Baneling, then the Reaper. I think that's what I'll do. God, PvZ would be so much easier if they don't have any hatchery units. I guess they would just still defend everything with Queens anyway. It doesn't really matter. God, life sucks. Alright. 7 score being thrown down here to finish up this wall. As DKZ herO. It's going for a natural. For the people that wonder what DKZ is, it is a merger between Dragon Phoenix Gaming and Kaizi Gaming. So before Dragon Phoenix Gaming and Kaizi Gaming, now DKZ, Dragon Kaizi Gaming, I think it's called. It's not the greatest name. Then again, Dragon Phoenix Gaming also wasn't perfect. Nothing really is perfect. But I do like it. herO is moving into a second gas here. As, ooh, double gas opener coming out of Maru. I was discussing those earlier. We have a reactor after the first Reaper. That means we'll see the CC on the high ground. As long, of course, as Maru wants to play it safe. Sometimes you do see that CC on the low ground, but it carries so much risk with it. You can just insta-lose the game with stuff like that. It is really risky. Because the first Reaper needs to be used for scouting around. Can't just straight away go across the map. Sometimes, you know, you just get unlucky and you miss that adept moving across. It kills the SCV once, and you also see a tech lab here being built first. Oh. It's going to be Cyclone? What is this? No Hellion at all. This is really rare. There's almost always a Hellion with this. It's going to be a Cyclone. Into what, a Raven? No, Medevac, right? Do you have enough gas for all of this? Look how low the gas count is. Man, this is a quick Cyclone. Phoenix first here, out of herO. Who got 2 adepts. And a third one isn't on the way quite yet. It's getting a battery very far forward. It's going to help him defend this low ground if he ever wants to defend that. Second gate on the way as well. Oh, there goes your Reaper. I think. Ah, that definitely dies, right? That's in range. That is in range. Poof. I love that he sent one of these adepts back home in case a Hellion would show up. Spots the Cyclone here though and sees the command center as well. Viking Cyclone as a follow-up. Second barracks coming down. This is a really odd opener. I'm not quite sure what Maru wants to play against with this. Like, what is the plan for him? You know, what is his goal in life? You always gotta wonder that. eBay is being built in an odd position as well. What is this? In case he's getting Baneling busted?
Add-on complete.
He's been hurt in the past. You know, sometimes you see that. When someone's been hurt in the past, they start doing things like this. I don't know who hurt him in the past, but someone. It wouldn't surprise me if it's herO, actually. herO has been playing a lot of Phoenix Colossus against double gas openers. Seems to be his preferred method of dealing with this. Throws on that Robo Bay, goes for a little bit of an Observer as well as the first unit. And then we'll follow this up with an Immortal most likely. Cuts a little bit in that Phoenix count. Up, here comes a push out. Is this push out valuable? I'm actually not so sure if this is a valuable push out. I'm wondering if this push out will do anything. Can it deny a third base? Perhaps yes, perhaps no. Adept's going to be taken out. I don't think this push can deny a third base at all. I actually think it's impossible. Stalkers are now being warped in as well. Stalkers, when you see someone is playing Phoenix Colossi and they warp in Stalkers, it's because they're afraid. And if you're a Terran player, you watch a replay and you saw someone warp in Stalkers because you scared them. You don't actually want Stalkers with Phoenix Colossus, and the reason for that is fairly simple. Phoenix Colossus is a build that is centered around gas. And you don't want to warp in Stalkers because they cost gas. It cuts into your Phoenix count, it cuts into your follow-up tech as well. Like, imagine you want to transition into Forged Twilight here. It's really difficult to do that because you don't have enough gas. And the more Stalkers you add, the worse it's going to get. You do want a Sentry because it actually has some use, but Stalkers are only good against early game pushes. They are absolutely terrible against mid game pushes when you're playing Phoenix Colossus specifically. They have no real purpose. You don't want Blink either because you already have Catch with the Phoenixes. So you want Charge first. You want the Forge, you want more Colossi, which are very gas intensive. You want your Thermal Lens coming up. Stalkers are not what you want. herO was scared. It showed. He built Stalkers. Meh. Not a fan. Observer here is going to die. In 4, 3. No, never mind. Raven's actually being hidden away. This Observer is toast. There we go. Poof. Very nice. The reason why this Raven is so far back, by the way, is because it's very common for Protoss players to try and snipe that Raven with their Phoenixes. Oh, Immortal on the wrong side of the road. No, no, no. This is the bad side of the road, my friend. This is where the Terran army is. Look at him. He's looking for it. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get the Raven. That means that with 2 interference matrices available, that herO is in a lot of trouble here. There goes number 1. There goes number 2. And that's the end of this game. That is it. The Raven made its way across the map and straight up wins the game. 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 workers going down. Robo gets sniped. Colossus and Immortal die as well. There's still this Colossus alive, but this game has pretty much ended at this point. herO being caught out of position. Thought his opponent was gonna go up this ramp. And rather than staying in a defensive posture, waiting where he was gonna go, herO gambled. He gambled incorrect. Then was not capable of force fielding this ramp, because that was going to be his plan. That should have been his plan. Out in the open with 4 sentries. You can't really do anything if both of your Colossi are going to get interference matrix. 34 workers have gone down as Maru continues to pile on the pressure here. Batteries are being destroyed as well. Mine is going to burrow, but does it really matter? I mean, Maru is so far ahead at this point. Maru could be attacking these rocks right now and losing both of these drops and still be completely fine. 3rd CC has finished up already. He's up in upgrades. He's getting better infrastructure as well, continuing to build mines, marauders, marines, and medevacs at a very high pace. Phoenix will not even finish as that pylon gets taken out. These zealots are useless as there is still no charge yet. Has charge even started? No, it hasn't. This Twilight has been completely useless so far. Robotics facility is not here, and this game is just completely over. It's gateway units without upgrades, without anything against a Terran Bioforce with 1/1 upgrades soon. Or well, actually just with +1. There's no +1 armor yet. Mine is going to drop into this mineral line and a couple more workers will fall. Not the end of the world, but it just kind of shows how over this game is. He literally just dropped over herO's entire army. I was like, alright, good luck getting anything into your natural or into your 3rd base. GG gets called. Maru wins game number 3 and puts himself on match point. Game number 4 here. Ooh, Maru, what is this? A PROXY 2 RAX. This is not really a Terran versus Protoss build, but I have heard stories about it. I've seen it before as well. What is this good against, you might be wondering. Well, it is good against no scouts, obviously. It's good against Nexus before core. What is it not good against? Things like 12 pylon, 13 gate. I think it's just a default loss. And if you scout around your base and you find these, it's also a default loss. You have way more time to kill these barracks as well. Usually the first barracks finish at like 127. And then, after that, there's no point in sending probes down. But this one finishes, well, what is it? 138, 139 or so. So it's quite a little bit later, which sometimes allows you to kill it. Oh, herO! He's gonna scout it? No, he's not. Is he? No. Is he? No. He is not. Might see this marine though. Yep, sees it the first second immediately. Wants to rebuild this pylon somewhere else right away. Absolutely. You want to, plop down a pylon here, maybe even on the high ground. I do like that. I really do like that. Do you want to get your Nexus up? I think there's no real reason to cancel it because you can't spend the money anywhere else right now anyway. So you might as well kind of keep it as bait. You can definitely keep it as bait. Worker pool is a necessity. Is definitely a necessity here, I think. Battery is being constructed. Main base is going to be secured. But pylon might actually fall. Nexus, do you want to get that? Do you want to get that Nexus, Chief? I don't think you do. I think it's time for a cancel. I think now it's time for a cancel, because you probably want to get a robotics facility or something along those lines down. I mean, this Nexus is absolutely toast. This has to be a cancel. Yeah, there we go. 300 minerals back. A robotics facility goes down. This is a pretty standard follow-up. And this bunker is marvelous. It really is. 2 more gateways coming in, so it's going to be 3 gate robo prism follow-up. And lots of micro. 1 barracks goes into scout. 4 gate robo follow-up. So it's going to be a pretty heavy attack here. Very dedicated. No ability to expand behind this, as the CC for Maru does get built here on the high ground. Can we get a prison? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Cyclone. I wonder if Cyclone's better than a tank here. It's so obvious that it's not going to be an immortal here, because it takes too much time to get an immortal and then a prison. So I think actually a tank would have been a superior call. Like, once you have a tank and you put it over here, basically everything is safe. Like, your wall is safe, this area is safe, this area is safe. The only thing that can happen is a little bit of harassment behind the mineral line. But that shouldn't be the end of the world, no? It really shouldn't be. I love this SCV scout. Oh my god, that's so good. Maru, you genius. Is he gonna proxy something here? No, right? Nah, no proxies. I think that would be stupid as well. I would like it. Yeah, I would love it, but I don't think there's any point to it. Yeah, tank is coming out and will be done in 10, 15 seconds from now. Yeah, something along those lines. 10 seconds from now. I don't think herO can actually make a play for the main here. Viking coming out as well. Ooh, he's going hard on the defense, which I'm not even sure if that's even necessary. He does not want to lose that bunker, I guess, which, fair play to you, Chief. Puts that tank kind of far back, but, you know, just in a perfect position to defend everything. And now you just relax. I don't actually think you have to... Ooh. No, you definitely still need to surround that bunker. Zealot's coming in. Oh, there goes the Cyclone. Bang, bang, you're dead. Tank continues firing. Marine count actually pretty low here, as the tank out of position to deal with this move. herO continues to surprise. Oh, there goes the Stalker. There goes the Prism. With no Prism, there's no reinforcements here, but perhaps that's not even necessary. herO breaking through, as this tank will fall. Oh my god, if this Prism had just stayed alive and 1 more warp in here, I think would have ended the game. But now we see 11 workers go down. Still means that Maru is up a worker. But the actual production for Maru is very mediocre. He doesn't have that much money either. Twilight Council as a follow-up tech building. We have 3 units. What's he gonna go for? DTs? No, there's 2 command centers. It has to be Blink or Charge. I almost would say that Charge might be good. What if you place 1 base Charge Lot Archon? How would that be? How would that be? Look at the unit count. There's nothing here. It's 2 tanks and 2 marines, but tanks by themselves are kind of useless, honestly. We have an observer as a follow-up. Nexus coming down. So this might actually just be Dark Shrine then. Because you don't have money to warp in anything else. Either a Dark Shrine or... Well, I think it's just a Dark Shrine or Charge. Templar Archive's also a possibility. Oh, there we go. Goes back in with that Prism. Wants to probably target down some of these workers, but needs to kill about 12 workers right now to get in a good position. Twilight Council has finished up. Let's see what he's going to do with it. Nothing. Templar Archives. Storm Drop? No. Yeah, Templar Archives. Storm Drop or Archon Drop? One of the 2. Ooh, Stalker gets taken out. That is very unfortunate. As 3 workers do go down. Observer makes his way across the map. I guess Storm Drop is a pretty smart play here, right? Low eco situation where you have a lot of gas. I enjoy that. I enjoy that massively. I really do. Now, tank is available in both bases, which means that this harassment has pretty much come to an end right now. We might get another half a kill or something, but yeah. 6 workers go down. Still 28 to 31, 29 to 31. 4 gases being taken here. This has to be stormed. This absolutely has to be stormed. Yeah, there we go. Hello, started. There we go. Clicks it. 2 Templar are out. Now, if he kills 10, 12, 13 workers with the storm drop, that could change things. This is going to be a hard-hitting storm drop, and it's going to come at a time where it's still somewhat relevant. I wouldn't say it's super relevant anymore because all the infrastructure is already up. Terran often gets, gets the most pain from hits that hit before the extra infrastructure gets built. So if you kill like 10 workers before the extra barracks go down, they often can't do anything anymore. But with just pure mule, you can kind of sustain this type of production. I mean, like 10, 12 SCVs or so, it's fine. It's frustrating when you still have to build the barracks as well. That can become quite expensive because they're like, big upfront investments that don't really pay off. Storm is about to finish up. Storm is really quick as a research, by the way. It's like 80-ish seconds, and with a couple of chrono boosts, bring that down to practically a minute. Adept goes in here to scout. I wonder what he wants to do with this drop. I think that the play should probably be to go for... Yeah. Wow, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Got a bunch of Marines, I think, and 5 workers. I mean, it's not the greatest thing ever, but this was definitely fine in my mind. This was okay. It got back in the game at least a little bit. What do we have at home, though? We have 4 Templar. Significant Templar for it here. As his opponent moves across the map, Zealot plus Archon goes in, and Tank goes away. Uh-oh. 2 more Zealots are being warped in these mines. Will they get the shots that they need? No, well, yeah, they get shots, but is this what they need? I'm not so sure. There's no unit here at home. Charge not done yet. That is actually going to save Maru here. If charge had been done, I think this game would have been completely over. Templars now moving towards the main base. As these medevacs are being sent back home, Maru says, hey, I don't think I can actually defend this properly. Loses 6 workers. Now the prism... No! Gets recalled in turret range. Loses the prism, and that means that these medevacs can turn back around, go back aggressively. If that prism hadn't died, I'm not sure if herO is ahead. I still think he's behind, but... There might have been an ability for him to move across the map and deal some damage. Doesn't have that many gates though. 5 gateways. 3rd base just now on the way. Ghost Academy coming in here. Viking is absolutely off the essence. I think Maru really regrets moving out with those 16 Marines. It looked like a good move, but herO had so much stuff at home. I think 4 or 5 Templar with Storm and against pure Marines. That's going to be heaven. Absolutely heaven. I mean, this is still pure Marine. I don't think you can actually do anything here. If you get hit by 1 storm, you could actually lose the game as well. Here comes a mine drop. 1 mine. No, not in the 3rd. 1 mine. Yes, in that natural base. Do you want to storm that spot? No. Just, ooh, nice retargeting. I'm just going to kill 1. herO slightly out of position. Completely out of position here with his Templar. As this pylon is most likely going to fall as a result of that. These Marines need to be so darn careful. They need to be so darn careful. If they get hit once, they're dead. Bang, bang. Where's the prism, actually? Oh, there we go. What does it have in it? 1 Templar. Single Templar going in for a flank. There's a lot of Templar here, though. There's 8 Templar with a lot of Storm available. There's not a single Marauder. If this Ghost doesn't hit an EMP, I think this might be game. I absolutely think this might be game, then. Uh-oh. No, hits the Raven instead. Hits the Raven instead. Here we go, moving forward. Feedback hits. Another Storm hits. There's so many Storms available. I think herO might actually be doing this. Goes in for an Archon. As we have a flank with these Templar. Tank gets taken out. There is an Observer. And this is a lift on this base. These SCVs are running away. Where did that medevac with the mines go? Is it somewhere in the base? I guess it didn't go across the map. Instead, it stayed home to defend. Oh, these SCVs need to be taken out, herO. That would be a huge move. We have 1 storm left right now. 1 storm left. Oh, these SCVs need to go. These SCVs absolutely need to go. A single storm is all that remains as 3 ghosts are popping out right here. Forge, 2nd Robo, and a Robo Bay are coming in. Here comes the storm. No. EMP hits first. And now we have a situation in which it's 1-1 with 1 EMP still available on the Terran army. And I bet that herO wishes that he killed those workers for free earlier because those were oh so free. He tried to go for the kill, didn't get it. And now he's left with, honestly, still a completely fine position, but a position that should have been even more fine. A position that should have been good. Gets his +1 attack, gets his thermal lance, should start a Colossi ASAP, has the supply available, has the money available. Yep, there we go. Chrono Boost the 2nd one for a Disruptor, but is a tiny bit supply block here. More Templar are out already with the ability to storm. He will need that to survive here. He's going to be in a bit of trouble otherwise. Pylons, 4th base on the way as well. don't think Maru is aware of that fourth base. Here come EMPs on the Archons. Oh, big storm hits. It's going to take out 5-6. Apply another storm. Going to take out 2-3 more Marines. And of course wins a little bit of time. More storms are available. Oh, these ghosts are... Poof, poof. Double storms. That's big damage here. There's not enough medevacs. How many Templar are there here? hero's playing a fantastic game with these Templar. At the same time, not quite sure what the hero is doing with that Prism. But seems to be doing just okay. Absolutely fine. Disruptor out as well. Prism goes down, so that Prism isn't doing as okay anymore as before. Blink is starting. There's no vision on the top side of the map. This is a real liability here for hero later on in the game. Perhaps snipe. Another snipe. Can we get that? Yes, we can. Templar gets taken out. Couple of big EMPs on these Archons would make a huge difference. Yep, there we go. Storm hits on this army. Disruptor moves forward. Wants to get a hit in. Colossi working on those Marines. I think hero now in a world of trouble. Does have 5 gateways, 7 gateways behind this, as the second Colossi is about to pop out. What's the energy on the Templar? 63. That's not going to be good enough. Blink hasn't finished yet. Super Battery does get activated, and with Thermal Lens available, I think that hero might live to die another day. But a fourth base already on the way for Maru. Armory coming up. Is there a second eBay? Yes, there is, which means that 2-2 can start, and I think 2-2 is perhaps going to be a game ender. 2-2 upgrades are so powerful on the Terran army. We see that split off coming in as well. And yeah, I guess 5 and 6 extra barracks will be added soon. Maru now is looking for that fourth base. Doesn't see it here. And I actually think that will pretty much tip him off to the fact that there is a base up down there. I mean, hero absolutely needs to have a fourth at this point. Yeah, Marine's going in for a scout right away. And is going to find it. Let's take a look at the first person of Maru. How is he going to respond to this? Okay, immediately moves out. Says, hey, that's actually kind of scary. I want to fight here. Right away. Flies his fourth base over. Blink comes in. Nice defensive position, of course, for hero. Go back in all view. Templars coming in with a flanking motion. Super Battery gets activated. If one Disruptor shot hits, that would be huge. Oh, here come the Templar. 2 big storms. Archon gets morphed in immediately as well. EMPs tried to hit there, I think, but didn't quite. There's still Disruptors available. Do you really want to fight this hero? Yes, he does. Takes out 2 ghosts. Is not targeting down the Vikings, and that means that every single Colossi will fall. Charge Lot not well upgraded enough to fight this, are they? I don't think they are. There's too much supply, I think, for Maru. Yes, a lot of that is in air units, but that just gives this army a lot of sustain when it comes down to these lower supply counts. Like, it's very annoying if half of your supply is in medevacs, but if you're fighting with 5 Marauders against 8 Stalkers, then these medevacs are going to keep every single Marauder alive, which is kind of great as well. 2-2 is about to finish up. It's going to be up 3 upgrades here for hero. For Maru, my apologies. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think these cells can do anything. Stalkers are moving in to try and deal some damage. We'll take out 2 units for free. I mean, that's good. This is the type of move that you hardly ever see the lower level tossers make. But hero and I think max specs as well are really good, being aggressive with their units without really risking anything. It almost never goes wrong when they do this type of stuff. Now, this overall move, though, this move out does carry a little bit of risk. This carries significant risk because retreating with just 4 Disruptor, no Colossi nearby, can be really quite tricky. Oh, double probes going in for harassment. Will get killed. Double mine drop heading in. There's an armory as well, don't forget. So detection is going to be a real necessity here. As I do not believe that hero can continue fighting right now. Cannon gets built, but these mines will shoot another time, of course. As the Stalkers also run out. Top side has been taken here for hero, who's finally getting his +2 attack upgrade. There's nothing for armor though. Losing all these workers is kind of painful. He's not rebuilding them either. Wants to continue fighting here. 8 Disruptors are out. If he can keep on the pressure and continuously pick off 1 or 2 units, that is going to be very good, I think, in my opinion. Oh, and a little bit of an F here in the chat. It's, ooh, hero sets himself up for a surround. Or to get surrounded, I should say. We have 1 more Disruptor shot available, I think. This one. Yep, there we go. That's for the retreat. Now he needs to be careful. Does not want to go too deep here. Does not want to go too deep. herO, be careful, my friend. Uh-oh. Here we go. Big hits. I think these disruptors are empty right now, though. Last one doesn't quite hit any of the ghost. And with the upgrade lead, I think that Maru once again is going to be able to just barely hold on. Still has an okay worker count as well. Yeah, losing 18 sucks. But he had so many workers and herO wasn't rebuilding them. +3 on the way here for Maru. Resetting the disruptor count is absolutely huge. 2 more are already out. 1 more is on the way. But I don't think that herO should continue attacking here. This is a mistake. He went a little bit too deep, too fast. And he's paying the price right now, losing all of those disruptors. I think he had a good thing going on, kind of moving back and forth, continuously making sure that his retreat path was safe. But once you go in and you shoot your shot, you can't go back anymore. All your disruptors are spent, then you can't retreat. Like, they're just dead. They die really fast. Very vulnerable little units. Ooh, that was a nice hit. He's gonna need a lot of hits like that in the near future. He's going into Colossi, which I think is a mistake. Not because I don't like Colossi. I think Colossi are actually quite good. But the problem here is that he's so far down in upgrades that a straight up fight against an army is not going to be viable. He needs to get big hits with disruptors. If he's not getting the big hits with the disruptors, he's not winning this game. It's as simple as that. I think he is actually not winning this game right now. He's taking out a lot of these mines, but this is a significant army already. There's a significant army up here as well. That means there's 2 significant armies. And that usually means that life is going to suck for the Protoss player. As mine will get a hit on those zealots as well. I'm not quite sure how Maru is fighting this so well, but he definitely is. Yeah, lots of these zealots are going down. Army moves towards the right side at the same time. Not a whole lot of medevacs with this, but I'm not even sure if that's necessary. herO pushes it back, gets his armor upgrade soon, but +3 is on the way. It's going to be 3 upgrades up once more for Maru, as it has been, or as it was before. 3? No, just 2. Sorry. I can't count. Not a great counter. Not my job either. SCV's being evacuated here, but this is a base trade that I do not believe that herO can win. Wouldn't mind if Maru goes up into his natural, or into his main base even. I feel like he is exposing himself here a little bit too much in that natural base. And there is a flank coming in with a ghost, a mine, and 3 marines. Sounds like the start of a bad joke, but they all just die instead. No punchline here. Nexus will continue falling, and 1600 minerals in the bank for herO. Does he have the supply to warp in? Yes, he can warp something in. What does he want to warp in? Has hidden probes as well. Let's not forget about that. Could warp in a couple of zealots at least. Yeah, there we go. 7 zealots do get warped in. Move these probes away for a Nexus. I think we're in base trade, full on base trade territory at this point. 1 disruptor shot, that's it. Does get sniped, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the end of this game and of this series. Let's not forget, this is a best of 5. Maru just won 3 games. That means it's over. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time, hopefully, for a new video. Bye-bye.